it's Dream from where the Yokos grow. We are out in front of our little greenhouses where all our seedlings are. So I thought I'd give you a little tiny greenhouse tour and update you and let you see how all the seedlings are going. We do have a lot of them, so let me turn these cameras around and show them to you. Okay, let me show you these tiny little greenhouses. We have two that are 6 or 8 by 6s, and then we have a small one. Disregard this mess. As you all know, we are moving, so we are making piles. This is all leaving to go to the new house. But then we have a little 6 by 4, I think that one is, a 6 by 4. So let's go in here and let's see them. I've got the flaps down because it is a little cold today, and I don't want to lose any of the heat, too much of the heat that's inside of them. So let's go in. Okay, so let's start right here. These are all my micro tomatoes that I have just recently potted, and then we have some tomatillas here in the back, and of course more and more different types of tomatoes. And then we've got some sweet potatoes down there. We got more tomatoes more tomatoes. And then look here, guys, so I don't believe in throwing tomatoes away. So anytime I have any weak tomatoes, I will keep them. Now I won't grow these right here. These are my little tiny tomatoes, and some of them probably aren't going to make it. They're probably going to die. But I will grow these in pots to keep them away from the other tomatoes, because you don't really want to mix. See how healthy those are? And you can tell these are not so healthy. But again, I don't believe in throwing away any plants. If I can save them, I will. And so apologize for the plane that's literally flying over my house. Good Lord. So, and then we got some more tomatoes down there, nice healthy tomatoes. These were some seedlings that hadn't really popped up when I transplanted, but now this one's gonna come out. That one's still got some time. Let me stand up as carefully as I can. Now these all right here are dandelions that I'm growing for my chickens to have in their garden area. Of course, you know, chickens destroy everything. So some of these I'm going to have to let go to seed so I can always have seed. And then I've got some herbs over here that are, some of them are ready to up pot, while others are just starting, like that one right there, just starting to come out of their little shell. And then we have another sweet potato here, and I believe, yes, these are ginger right here. And then I just yesterday up potted all of these herbs that were ready to up pot. I'm going to back out of this greenhouse and go into the next. All right. Now this greenhouse has a little more in it. We have, this is feverfew, which is this and this. Back here are ranunculus flowers. And then these all up here are wild bergamot. Now of course these won't be transplanted till they go into the garden, and so they're going to stay in those pots right there. We have some peppers that are ready to up pot, so we're going to be getting that done. And then we have a whole this is a whole flat of early flowers that we got to get taken care of. I just started in this little house right here, this little planter, this cell planter, just started a bunch of flower seeds. So, and then we have some you can see just a few of those seeds, of those lettuce seeds, came up. And then of course you can tell that the rest of them, those are Swiss chard. We have more micro tomatoes over here, and we have large tomatoes there, large tomatoes here, large tomatoes there. And then I have more peppers that I have to get, and I want to show you something that's going on in over here. Now, I don't know if you've all been to Home Depot. They have all of their flower bulbs and all of that. These are those green twister echinaceas, and I got those started in here. Now they're going to stay right here until they go into their bigger containers, but look at there, folks. One of them is already blooming. Now I'm going to show you some very pitiful tomatoes. Again, I don't throw away any tomatoes. Now I'm not saying these aren't going to make it. I'm not saying they are going to make it either. So let me turn the camera around, and you can see I don't throw away these tomatoes. Now you can see what's wrong with them. You see how they're yellow? It just means, and they've got a little bit of a curly leaf, and there's no blight or fungus on it, but they got a little bit of curly leaf. So we gave them a nice little shot of some kelp and water mix fertilizer, and that should help cure the yellowing in the leaves. And I think thyme, just being up potted into a bigger pot, and just some thyme is what they need. And then we've got some really big Italian basil that I just up potted, and then there's the really healthy tomatoes. And then again, just planted a whole bunch of flowers, and these are also my pollinator herbs and flowers in this one. And then you can see that big girl over there, she needs a haircut. That's going to happen today. Those are my onions, but it's the first time I've ever started them from seed, so that was kind of a new thing to start. So I'm going to back out of this greenhouse and we're going to go into the smallest one. Okay, so for those of you who are new, who have never been here, you're going to see this giant pile of stuff. We are moving, so all of this that you see are grow bags and planters. They were all out in the front gardens. If you hadn't seen any of my garden tours, I'll link them down in the description for you, so you can go see them. But all of this tomorrow is moving, and it's, guys, it's going so fast. So let's get into this greenhouse. This currently is the smallest greenhouse that I have. And this one, because this one doesn't stay as warm, this has all my cooler weather kind of crops. It has all of my onions. I've got some strawberries. These were part of... If you follow me on TikTok, these were all part of those strawberry crowns and bare roots that I got. These were the ones that were struggling, and that's why they're still in here. And as you can see, some of them, they just, they just didn't make it. If you didn't see it, head over to my TikTok and you'll see all of the strawberries that I already planted up. And then here's a couple more. And as you can see, they're still struggling. And then, of course, onions, onions, onions. And then we have artichoke right here, and then these are all kohlrabi, and I've got to get these over to the other house. So they've already been hardened off. They've been hardening off. We got to get them over to the other house and get them into the grow bags. And then these are all celery. These are too tiny to go into any gardens, but there's all of the celery that we have. So all of the seedlings that you see here, I'm kind of having to duck down and get in the camera. All of the seedlings that you see here were started on 3 different weekends or 3 different dates, actually 4 different ones. They were either started January 1st, January 13th, February 2nd, or February 21st, which was just a couple of days ago. That's because I'm following the recommended times to start your seeds inside with any seeds that I am planting. Some of those seeds are 10 to 12 weeks. Some of those seeds are 6 to 8 weeks. Some of those seeds are 4 to 6 weeks. And then eventually some of them will be 2 to 4 weeks or direct sown. So we still have a long ways to go, which means we have to get a lot of this stuff moved, a lot of it hardened off so it could just sit on the shelves. Especially if they're cold weather crops. So I hope you enjoyed this little tour. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let me know down in the comments if you're growing anything already. Did you see that gnat? That's the first one I've seen. Till I see you in the next video, you take care of yourselves, you keep your heads up, and no matter how you do it, you keep growing. Bye-bye, y'all.